What up, Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic, you know, as we try to hammer out the last of our coaching staff. George Edwards has been confirmed to have signed with the Cowboys for coaching the linebackers. Now, here's where it gets weird. So apparently he'll be the linebacker coach and he'll have an even bigger role, which has yet to be defined. But that kind of leaves out McCurley, because he's also a linebackers coach. So we're not sure what those two are bring together. They're going to have to figure it out as two linebacker coaches. Of course, Leon Lett has been retained to assist on the defensive line. And they have signed Chase Hazlitt, the son of former Saints coach Jim Hazlitt, as the offensive quality control. Now, McCarthy likes him because he got into the league doing the same thing. Jim Hazlitt was actually the guy who got McCarthy hired on as offensive quality control back in '93, I think. And, you know, I guess he owes him big for that. So he sees something in his son, Chase, he's going to go with it, you know. Not too many other news today. We're getting inching closer towards the Pro Bowl, which is whoop-de-doo. And we're inching closer to the last game of the season, the Super Bowl. Now, I think we have, 4 players for the Chiefs that are former Cowboys playing, but I think 9 people in total that has ties to the Cowboys in the past. Guys like Morris Claiborne, Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, linebacker. Gosh, I get that guy's name wrong. Chandrick? Something along like that. Corner that we didn't really keep on because we thought, hey, we have so many, let's just give them away for basically a guy who never played for us. And other people on the coaching staffs that have been with the Cowboys. But as you look at the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, that could be us. When all things considered, I'm sure somebody's going to say, how do you figure, you know, bullshit, you know, ain't no freaking way the Cowboys could be in the Super Bowl like these two. But look at the teams who made the playoffs. Look at what they do. They ran the ball. We can run the ball. They threw efficiently. We can throw efficiently if guys catch the ball. I mean, Tannehill and Garoppolo, those guys are barely throwing the ball. Maybe 15, 16 times a game if they need to, and then just rely on their running game. We could do that. We just don't. We just try to keep our offense balanced. Plus, when they play from ahead, they can do that. We have the tendency of falling behind so darn quick and so darn fast that we're always playing from behind. They got to abandon the running game. Hopefully that all turns around. Talking about the Giants, people said that it's going to be harder for us to beat them with Jason Garrett running the offense there. I beg to differ because, yeah, sure, he knows the Cowboys' tendencies, he knows the players, he knows what we can and can't do, but this is a different team. This is Mike McCarthy's team now. That's like saying, hey, how can the Cowboys of the 90s be any different when Jimmy Johnson basically drafted all those guys? If you leave, you should be able to beat the Cowboys, right? Doesn't happen because a different coach is going to have his ways and be running things differently. You're not always going to get the same philosophies and schemes like you would have when you were there. So you can't count on the same stuff happening when you're gone. I mean, you can hope that we do the same tendencies, but we might switch it up. You never know. Another topic I haven't talked about that I'm going to touch on a little bit. It's going to piss off people. You're either one way or the other, and that's fine. That's your opinion. Is the Dak Prescott contract. You know it was coming. I haven't really talked about it in any of my videos other than the man needs to get paid and the Cowboys need to stop BSing, because his price tag is going to go up when eventually Mahomes is going to get his money. Watson's going to get his money. So, one, yes, the Cowboys need to stop playing from behind like they always do when it comes to free agency, even on their own players, and get the ball rolling and start signing guys, because you got a lot to do this offseason. You can't be sitting here fuddling around with getting Dak Prescott's contract all offseason, because he does have the leverage to hold out if he wants to. I mean, he doesn't have to be there. He can say, no, whatever you give me is not worth it, and go somewhere else if he wanted. That's the problem and the risk you're facing. As far as point two, the Cowboys and the franchise or transition tags. Now, you can franchise them. I think the franchise tag is 26.9, something like that. You know, it's close to that. So it's not exactly, you know, the 30 plus that he's looking for, or close to the other guys that signed for. It's a big hunk of change, and the problem with the tag is he'll be just like last year. And if you look last year and you were wondering, why doesn't Dak run for first downs? Why doesn't he do this and do that? It's because he was betting on himself, and if he gets himself injured, he's not going to get paid. He's probably not going to play. So you don't want to go out here on a franchise tag, get yourself hurt, and then completely blow all your bargaining chips. Plus, if you take the franchise tag, that's one lump sum coming out of the salary cap at that one time. If you take the contract, yeah, sure, it could be 4 years, $33 million or something, you know, make him $100 million man or whatnot. But you can spread it out over the years. You can defer money, you can do bonuses, you can do lump sums. I mean, there's many ways they could tackle giving him the 30, 35 or whatever $1 million contract that he's looking for, and still look good, because you're going to be able to change and manipulate how that money works, because you already got him into it. You can guarantee him a certain amount at the upstart, so later on in the years, if he doesn't make it and it doesn't work out, you can cut him for a way less salary. But we'll have to see how that goes. A lot of people will say he's not accurate enough. Drop passes aside, yes, he was not accurate. He does complete pretty well. He has a pretty good completion rate, 69% last year or so. You know, not counting the drops. A couple of good passes he had were called back due to penalties. That's also going on Randall Cobb's resume, because he did score about 4 more touchdowns that were taken back. He tends to hold on to the ball too long still, instead of throwing it away. I don't think he's still completely reading the defense. That's going to be something that, after all these years, you think somebody would have helped him figure out by now. We'll just have to see if he grows still from that perspective. Other than that, you can't say it's arm strength, because he has pretty good arm strength when he has to. He just has a lot of times bad foot mechanics when he's going long ball, because he's being rushed a lot of times and he's not stepping into his throws. He's kind of throwing off his back foot, and that's why the balls seem to lob a little up in the air, and the receivers have to basically stop their routes to come for the ball. And you see in a couple games, that's what kind of killed us, is that when he's throwing it, they either have to stop their running their routes to get the ball, have to go to the ground to get the ball because of the inaccuracy, or, you know, they're behind. And by the time they turn back around or get their bearings straight, they're already getting tackled. So, if he could put a couple more passes on the dime and write in them numbers, he'd be a beast. He'd be over 5,000 yards passing. If everybody's thinking statistically, he couldn't beat Romo, he would have had way more yardage if he could have put it on the numbers. He wouldn't be so bad if he just throw the ball away instead of taking the sacks. I mean, admittedly, it wasn't as many as 2018 and that half of 2017, but he's still taking a beating. Apparently, it was his AC joint in his shoulder that was messed up, and he's not making excuses as to why they lost that Philly game, because the next week he showed up in Washington against Washington and played lights out again. So, no excuse for the shoulder for us losing that Philly game. That was a complete disaster. Let's see. But my opinion, he should get paid. They should go ahead and basically they're hitching his wagon to Mike McCarthy. He's no longer a Jason Garrett pet. You people who say that Prescott was developed under Jason Garrett, bull. Because obviously, everybody was saying how crappy he is, but yet you say he got developed. I don't know how you can be developed and you suck at the same time. So I don't know how that's supposed to work, But now that you got a new regime, if you're going to hitch your wagon to it and you giving McCarthy maybe 3 out of those 5 years on his deal, you need to go ahead and hitch Prescott too. So if it doesn't work out, the next head coach doesn't get saddled with the same quarterback if he wants to go a different route years from now. But if McCarthy can take him above and beyond, as Michael Vick actually chimed in and said this is the best thing for Dak, is having McCarthy. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Those two together hopefully can be the new, I hate to say Troy and Jimmy, but they're hitching their wagons to each other, and that's what it's going to be. Hopefully it brings us success, as far as the defense go, it's going to still be 4-3. But Mike Nolan's going to bring in blitz packages. He's going to disguise the defense a little more. They're going to have movement. He's going to pop. If you look at some film in San Francisco and Atlanta, you're going to have like 3 linemen down, 4th lineman standing up, 2-point stance. You're going to have a linebacker line up on the line too. So now you got a 5-man front. But we'll see how they want to roll with it, what kind of personnel they can get, because it's a hell of a plan. And unfortunately, it seems like, as usual for the Cowboys, we're doing this a year too late. Because if we had this kind of coaching and the talent last season, we'd have been in the playoffs. I guarantee it. Fuck it. I guarantee we'd have been in the playoffs. Because at least a couple of those games where our defense let us down, they'd at least showed up a little bit, just disguising the defense. People knew exactly what we were doing on defense, and that's what killed us a lot of times, is that they know what we're doing, and a lot of times they can just run right up the middle, run out the clock, and it killed us. The back end, as a safety, how do you let a guy get past you? That's ridiculous. But that was last season. We're on to new, bigger, better things. I'm excited because this uncertainty. This is the first time in a long time that Cowboys fans do not know what we're going to do. The draft is going to come up, and everybody wants that safety. There's quite a few safeties that could drop to us in the draft at 17, or if we try to move up to get one. If it's not a safety, there's a lot of nose tackles that can fit the bill. Hopefully better than Tristan Hill did. But who knows, maybe with the new coaching change, Tristan Hill can actually turn into a beast. Who knows? It's just a lot of uncertainty, And that's why I said Garrett can go to New York. he's just not going to know what the Cowboys do now because nobody has a clue. We are the unknown now. Again, I hope we can play in the Hall of Fame game so we can get started training camp a little sooner. Because these guys are going to need some of that extra preparation to get everything installed. It's going to be something. 2019 was the season that I thought we could do something that prompted me to even start this channel. Unfortunately, it turned into an 8-8, same old Garrett clap along fuckfest, basically. It was a cluster. In the end, it just wasn't right. I think the team kind of quit on him, maybe. He wasn't getting to anybody anymore. Not with his words. There was nothing that he showed that ran through to the team other than we'll just look at tape and we'll get back to the lab and we'll figure it out. No, you didn't. But now we're new. Now we're unknown. It's a new day. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. 2020. Cowboys back in the playoffs. That's my prediction. If y'all gonna go ahead and, as my brother say, we won 3 games to begin the season. Y'all were talking about, you're going to the Super Bowl. I wasn't saying we're going to the Super Bowl. Look back at my old videos and you say every week I would say on to the next team. I was not guaranteeing Super Bowl. I said 10-6, if not 11-5. I was off. I thought we were better than what we were, and talent-wise we were. Unfortunately, the talent and the coaching let us down. But now it's new. I'm not going to give a prediction as far as our record yet until, all free agency is done, all the drafting is done, and we get a look a little bit at preseason and training camp. After that, I could give a honest opinion about what our record should be, but I am already going to say playoffs. I don't know what record, but we should be in the playoffs next season. We have the talent right now. Hopefully most of it gets retained. If not, I hope whoever we get or retain has that same enthusiasm as they did last year, because they were hyped last year and ready to go. It just didn't carry on the whole season. But we'll have to see. So if we don't make the playoffs, you can go right ahead, call me a liar, call me bullshit, but that's what I'm hoping. That's my excitement for the team, and that's what I hope for. As a Cowboy fan, you should hope so too, but that's your opinion. You can have one. That'll be it for today. I hope you have a happy Friday. Off to work again, like every day almost. You have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your time. Thank you for yours. Peace.